in the basic programming, we also seen what is the different table types, what is the internal tables, what is the work area, what is the structure. So these things we have seen. So now in continuation, in today's session, I want to tell you how to get the data. For example, I have some data in my database table. I want to bring the data into my program. How can I do that? I may make use of work area, I may make use of internal table, and I can bring the data. How can I do that? Let us see. So now here we are going to start some testing with database tables. There are different types of syntaxes again we are going to learn here to get the data from the database. Now here I will say data data some WA type. So we'll take a student table because we are practicing. It will be easy for you to understand. So I will say this ZNRN underscore student. So what is this WA? WA I will call it as a work area. This WA is declared with data keyword. So you can store some values in this work area. And remember, work area can always store only one record. If you want to put one more record in this work area, the previous record will be overwritten. The example already we saw yesterday. Now what is my intention is, I have several records in this table. For example, I will go inside this table. I have already seen some entries in this table. I want to bring any one of the entry into this work area. How can I bring it? As of now, I have only a work area which has 5 fields. First field is MINDT, second field is student ID, student name, class and employee ID. So all the 5 memory locations are empty. Now I want to fill those memory locations with some data which is available in the table. So for that you have to write a syntax like this. You have to say select star. Star stands for all the fields. How many fields are there in this table? 5 fields. So if I say star, star stands for all the fields from the table name. Database table name is ZNRN underscore student into, after getting the data, where you want to put. I want to put it in a work area. I have created a work area. This is empty. In this empty memory location, I want to put the data which I am bringing from this table. Okay, but how many records I can bring? Work area can store only one record. So I should say here select single star. Single means one record. If you don't give single here, system will assume that okay, you may bring more than one record. So whenever you are putting a data into the work area, make sure that you say here single, star stands for all the fields, from the database table name, put it into the work area. So in this table we have several records. See, student 01 has a record, 02 has a record. 4 records we have in this table. Among these 4, which record you want to bring? Do you want to bring student 1 related or 2 related or 3? Which student related record you want to bring? You can always say with a where condition. You can say something like this, where my field name, that is student ID, equal to ST02. So this is what my syntax. So whenever you want to bring some data from the database table, put it into your work area, make use of this syntax. Select single, single means one record, star stands for all the fields, from your database table into, and after getting the data where you are putting into the work area which you have declared on the top. So when you are getting the data, because database table has several records, but I want to bring only the record where student ID equal to ST02. So after this step, your work area will be filled with the student 02 related record. So that means this record, this record will come into your work area. So now after that, you may make use of your write statement to access the data. For example, I will say write work area hyphen student ID, work area hyphen student class, whatever the fields, because we are getting all the fields. Star means all the fields. We got student MANDT also, student ID also, student name also. We got everything. But I'm only writing in the output student ID and student class, for example. So then I will save it, check it, activate, and execute. Now you can see student 02 is he is in which class? Second class. For example, if you want to write the name, see student 02 ST02, this guy is in a second class. Okay, so that is what it is giving in the output. For example, if you want to display the name also, then what you can do here, you can say write work area hyphen STU name. So now student name will be also displayed in the output. Now execute, you can see ST02 Sadiq 2 is coming in the output. So this is a query, this is called a select query or select statement. So when this select statement should be written, when you want to access the data which is there in the database, you want to bring the data from the database to your program, make use of this select statement. There are various select queries, like not only this, we are going to learn various select statements. In this example, what we learned is how to bring all the fields. Star stands for all the fields, right? So how to bring all the fields of a single record, put it into work area. That is what the scenario here. But what I can do is, here instead of giving this ST02 hard coded, I can declare a parameter. So what I'll do is I'll say here parameters, some anything XYZ ABC, or I will say P underscore STU ID, any name which is of type my data element of student ID. For example, if I go here, data element of student ID, if I have given here, so what is the significance of this? This particular variable is now given with this particular data element which is having character of length 10. So this student P underscore student ID will have now character of length 10. Okay, so now when I save check activate, I will get a parameter whose name is P underscore student ID. If you see, I am getting character of length 10 here. Okay, so now if I enter something ST02 or ST01, whatever I enter here, so I want to make use of that value here. Instead of putting here ST02, I will put here the parameter value, that is P underscore STU ID. Let us save check activate this. Now when I execute, if I provide here ST02, so ST02 related data will come in my output. If I provide here ST03, then ST03 related record will come in my output, and so on. Okay, so this is how you can make use of your parameters into the select condition. This is called a select condition, or this is also called as select query. So in your select query, you can make use of your parameters. So going to the next case, in the next scenario, so I'll keep this program as it is. I don't want to change this. In the next program, I want to show you how to bring only the required fields from the database. As of now, what we are doing is, we are bringing all the fields. We are saying select star. Star means all the fields. But in the output, in the write statement, I am using only 3 fields. If you remember, or if you see this, you can see what I am using. I am using only student ID, student name, student class. Only 3 fields I am making use in the output. Now my question is, when I say select star, I am bringing all the fields. All the fields means I am also bringing MANDT. I am also bringing employee ID. These two also I am bringing. So now when I am using only 3 fields, why to bring unnecessarily other 2 fields? So other 2 are occupying unnecessarily memory they are occupying. So when you are using only 3 fields in your write statement, that means when you are using only 3 fields further, why to bring all the fields here? What you can do to optimize your memory? Instead of putting star here, you can also say the field names STU ID, STU name, STU class. So you can write in this way. So what are all the fields are required? You can mention only those fields in your select query. But there is one small problem. The problem is, see here, whatever the fields you are bringing, those fields will come and sit in this work area. For example, in the student ID ST01 is there, that ST01 value will come from the database table and sit it in this work area student ID. Similarly, student name should come and sit in this work area. Similarly, student class should also come and sit in this work area. But my work area has how many memory locations? Maybe I will draw a diagram here for your better understanding. I will open an Excel. So how I have declared my work area? So my work area I have declared. I am saying WA type Jadnarayan student. So that means in the Jadnarayan student there are 100 fields. All the 100 fields should be available in my work area. Okay, so let us go to Jadnarayan and see how many fields are there. There are 5 fields. So how my work area looks like? So with these 5 fields, I will be having a work area. What happened? Okay, file paste transpose. Okay, done. So my work area looks something like this. This is my work area name. What is the work area name? WA. So let us go to the program now. After line number 11, in my memory, I will have this kind of a work area with 5 empty memory locations and whose common name is WA. Now what are all the things you are bringing from the table? Student ID, student name, student class. Only these 3 fields you are bringing. Now what will happen is, this student ID will come and try to sit in the first field. It doesn't know that, select statement doesn't know that the student ID should go and sit in this. Similarly, student name should go and sit in the second field. Student class will come and sit in the third field. So in that case, what will happen? You will not get the proper output. Actually, this is the field which we are getting, and that field will go and sit in the first field of our work area. In our work area, the first field is MANDT. So your student ID will come and sit in MANDT. Student name will come and sit in a student ID. Student class will come and sit in student name. So which is wrong. To avoid this, what you have to do is, there are two ways to avoid. The first way is, you can say into corresponding fields of this particular work area. When you say into corresponding fields of, then the select statement will try to search. Okay, I am bringing student ID. In this work area, where is the student ID? Okay, here. Okay, so the student ID, whatever I am bringing from the table, that I should put in this. Then similarly, when it is getting the student name, it will try to search where is the student name and student class, and it will put it into the proper fields. So this is one way of doing this. Okay, so now let us see the result. After that, I will tell you what is the second way. So now when I say this, when I give some student ID, I am getting the proper output. No problem. But if I don't give into corresponding fields of, I forget to give into corresponding fields of, then what will happen? The student ID will come and sit in a first field of work area, that is nothing but MANDT, then student name, and so on. It will follow the first, second, third fields until and unless you say into corresponding fields of. But this is also wasting the time, because the program is trying to search where is the student ID in the work area. Program will try to search where is the student name. It is wasting some time. Thus, our program execution time will be more. That means the performance of your program is less. To improve the performance of your program, what you can do is, you can declare a structure like this. We already learned how to declare a structure. Say types begin of std student. Std means my student, in which I will say STUID, student ID. Student ID should be of character 10 type C. So instead of giving like this, the alternate way is, you can also say student ID type the data element. The data element is already available in this table. So provide the data element. So for this data element, what is the data type and what is the length? Data type is character, length is 10. So that will come to this particular field. Okay, then similarly, I want STU name type character 30. So I will take this data element, put it over here. So character 30 will be given to student name. And what is my third field? STU class type character 10. So that is the data element, genre and STU class. So all fields should be separated with comma. Finally, end of STD. So my structure name is STD. My structure has a 3 fields. So now here, instead of giving this table structure, I will provide here STD. So previously my work area has 5 fields. Now my work area has only 3 fields: student ID, student name, student class. So now my work area has only 3 fields. So how it looks like? Now my work area looks like this. So now when I am writing the select statement, I am getting this student ID, student name, student class. Student ID will come and sit in the first field of work area, which is nothing but student ID. Student name will come and sit in the second field of work area, student name and class. So in this case, no need to give into corresponding fields of. So into corresponding fields you will provide when the work area fields having different order than the select fields what you are selecting here. But here there is no need of that because we have a proper structure declared. So that is how you can improve the performance of the program. So in this case, the time taken to get the data from the database and put it into work area is less. So in this case, your program performance will be more and you will get the accurate result. So now I will save, check, activate and execute. Provide here some input. So you are getting the output. So I say this is the best way. So whenever you are getting only few fields from the table, always declare a structure. Then with the help of structure declare a work area and then go for writing a select statement. So hope until this it is clear. So if it is clear until this, then I will take you into the next select query. In the next select query, we are going to see how to bring multiple records from the database table. For example, till now we are bringing only one record, but how to bring multiple records? In the database table I have several records. For example, in the database table with the class, for example, if I give 1, in the first class there are some 3 students. So I want to bring all the 3 records in my program. How to bring this? But as of now, if you have some questions, tell me. So are you able to follow what are all the things we are doing here, or you have any questions? So I assume you are able to follow. Then what I'll do is I'll create another program. In this program, I'll try to show you how to bring multiple records. So in the where condition, if I give student ID, always I will get one record. Is it not? Because in the student table, if I provide the student ID, for example here, if I provide ST01 or ST02, whatever I provide here, because in the student table, the student ID is a unique field. This is a key field, or it is also called as a primary key. So student ID is the primary key. So when I provide the input as a student ID, I will always get only one unique record. So because in the where condition I am giving the student ID, I will get the unique record. So then I can make use of this work area. But what if I am not providing a student ID in the where condition? Instead of that, I may be providing the student class. So I will say in the where condition, I will say where student class equal to p underscore class. Here I will change this p underscore student ID to p underscore class type data element of this, and that is ZNR and student class. So I will put something like this. So now I am getting student ID, name and class based on the class. So what is my input of this program? I will say check activate and then I'll execute. Now I'll provide the class here. I'll provide one first class. When I execute this, what will happen? I'm getting only single record, Piyush related record I'm getting. Why I'm getting a single record? But in table, how many records are there for class 1? If you see in the database table, I have multiple records for the class 1. But what I got only the first record. Why? Because I'm storing the data in the work area, and work area can store only one record. So that one record is written. But if you want to write multiple records, what you can do is avoid the single, because when you give a single keyword always bring only one record from the database. And then what you do is you provide a end select statement here. Now select and end select will form as a loop. What it will do, it will go to the first time for the class 1, the PUC related record it will bring into the work area. It will write the work area related, that means that PUC related record it will write in the output. Later it will go again to the select statement. Then the second record, that is the NAG related record, will come. That is also written in the output. Third time it will go. It will bring the third record. It will be written. Fourth time it will go. There is no fourth record available here. So the select query come out. So let us see now whether it is printing all the 3 records or not. So now I'll execute. Now you can see all the 3 records are coming up. But it doesn't mean that your work area is storing all the 3 records. Your work area getting the first record, as soon as it is getting the first record, it is writing. When it gets the second record, the first record is already overwritten, but at the time itself, the first record is already available in the output. Now the first record is overwritten, then second record it is writing. When it comes, second record is overwritten by the third record, then it is writing the third record, and so on. So you can make use of your work area like this. But this program, performance wise, not a good program, because every time you are going to the database table, putting the data into the work area, then writing it. It is something like some guest came to your house. You want to serve water. So every time you are going to kitchen and then bringing a glass, giving to them. Again you will go back to kitchen, then again bring some water and again giving to them. So instead of that, what you can do is you have a jug with you. In the jug you can have multiple records, much more quantity of the water. You have a jug and bring enough water in the jug and come to the place where the guests are there and serve the water. That is a better way. Instead of putting the data into the work area several times, going to the database and writing it, put the data into the internal table. We have something called internal table. Yesterday we discussed, right? So internal table can store multiple records. So what we can do is we can make use of internal table to get the data from the database. Once we get all the data, we can write it in the output. Let us see how to do that. So I'll copy this program. Go and change mode. Now instead of work area, I will declare an internal table. You know the syntax, how to declare an internal table. I will say ITAB type table of structure name, that is std. So this is an internal table which can store multiple records. So now here I will say select these fields from the table, put it into my internal table whose name is ITAB. No need to provide this end select because we are not going to the database multiple times. So we are getting all the 3 records into this internal table. So now once we get all these 3 records into the internal table, what we will do is we will loop at this internal table, put it into work area, write each record and say end loop. So first record put in the work area, write it. second record, put it into the work area, write it, third record, put it into the work area and write it, and so on. So this loop repeats several times. But this loop you are doing at the internal table level, so your program performance will be more. So now I'll say check activate and execute. So I will provide here a class. Now I'll execute here. You are getting all the three records. The previous program result and this program result both are same, but performance wise this is much better way. So writing select query, getting into the data into the database, internal table is better way, because we are going to the database only one time. Only one time the select query will execute and it will get the data into the internal table. And then after that we are looping the internal table and writing. This is a better technique rather than going to the database, putting one record into the work area, again going to the database, getting another record into the work area. That will take more time. So this is a better way, and this is a way to get the data which is available in the database, getting it into the internal table and making use of it. If you have any questions till now, tell me, otherwise we will stop here, and in the next class we are going to discuss how can we join two tables and get the data. So now till now we didn't saw the scenario of getting data from 2-3 tables. As of now I am bringing always data from only single table. So in the next class we will discuss how to get the data from 2 different or 3 different tables. So have any question, let me know.
Ram Narendra here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the before classes, you told us that only through the work area we can add records in internal table, right?
Yes, only through work area. If you want to put some record into the internal table, only through work area you can put. Yeah.
But here we are putting it without work area also, right? I mean,
where the select query you are talking about this?
Yes,
select query can, like the select query is directly getting the data from the database and it can put it into the internal table. This is the exception. Like it can put it directly into the internal table. But if you want to put, you cannot. The query, that means this syntax can put it, like this is the select query, this can do it, but if you want to do it manually, you cannot.
Okay. So through work area only we have to put it.
Yes. Okay, so we will end up here today, and in the next session we will see how to get the data from more tables and put it into internal table. A few more syntaxes also we will learn to handle these internal tables. Okay, see you, bye.
Okay.